What's going on, Sumolings? It is Chris from AppSumo, and I am very excited to be diving for another product walkthrough webinar for you guys today. We are joined with Hui from BotStar, who it is 5 o'clock for him, so we appreciate him actually staying up all night to join us today. I see you guys all streaming in. Super excited to get going. We got a bunch of people on here. For those of you who don't know, BotStar is a comprehensive chatbot builder that makes it easy to develop and refine an automated system to tackle queries and generate leads. It's available on AppSumo right now, starting off at just $49 for lifetime access, and it stacks up from there for multiple licenses. So super excited to get started with you guys. Let's all say hi in the comments and let me know two things. One, where are you guys tuning in from? For me, I'm in Austin, Texas. And Hui, where are you at?
I'm from Vietnam right now.
All right. And all right. So let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know what your business is as well. And I am also going to launch a poll right now too to see, have you guys already got BotStar yet? Do you have one code? Do you have multiple codes? Are you hoping this webinar convinces you? Let me know. And we'll get going in just a sec. Two pieces of housekeeping. One, if you've been to a webinar before, but if you have a question, you can drop those in the Q&A box below the video and we'll get started there. The second piece is if you miss anything, you have to jump out early. It's early in the morning or late night for you guys. We'll be sending out a replay either later tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on when this video finishes processing. Cool. I see a lot of people coming in here. It looks like a lot of people on this webinar, they have not purchased the code yet, but they're hoping the webinar convinces them. So we'll see what we can do, Hui. Awesome. I'm gonna turn it over to you. I want to let everybody know, if you stick around towards the end of this walkthrough, I'm going to show you how you may be able to get 10% off on a code or two from BotStar. So stick around for that if this webinar does end up convincing you. But that is all from me. I'm going to be quiet now. Hui, I'll turn it over to you and you can get going on your walkthrough.
Cool. Thank you. Hi, everyone. So this is Hui, CEO of BotStar. And sorry, everyone, if I sound sleepy. It's 5 a.m. right now. So I'm about to share my screen. And I will be talking very briefly about BotStar as a platform in general. And then I'll try to walk you through a very simple tutorial, creating a simple bot. And then I'll try to walk you through some of the taxonomy as well as some of the terms that we are using in BotStar, some of the concepts behind it. And then we'll try to also finish the tutorial with trying to connect BotStar with MailChimp. It's like finish an end-to-end chatbot lifecycle. And then at the end, I'll be providing a Q&A session. So I'll be sharing my screen right now.
Awesome.
One second, guys.
Let's see where you guys are all tuning in from. All right, we got the UK, Seattle, San Diego, Israel, Philadelphia, Chicago. Awesome. New York, Orange County, England, DC, San Francisco, New Zealand. You guys are all over. We got some early risers in here too. Excellent. Mexico, Colombia, Alabama. Nice.
Cool. 1 second.
Doing.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
It's coming through now. Cool. Looks good. Coming through for me. Let us know in the comments. Is this working for you guys as well? So far, so good for me. So yeah, feel free to get diving into it. And I'm going to turn off my camera as well. Yep. Looks like it's good for everyone else too.
Yep. So I am in the dashboard of BotStar right now, and I'll just try to create a new bot. Here in the the template section, you can see we have like about 70 templates ready built chatbot. I'll just go ahead and create one from the scratch so that I can walk you through some of the basic concept. Let me name my bot demo bot. So here's the the build editor. So the most important screen in BotStar. On the left hand side, we have the library panel. And also you can see that we have a data panel. So this is where you can control data, variables, or setting for the bots. On the right hand side, this is also the area that you play around with the most. This is the property part where you can configure the blocks, the outgoing connection, so that you can control how the blocks are, navigating around. And also you have an outline tab to show everything in one place. So let me try to create a few simple blocks so that we can get ahead. So this is the conversation entry, and this is the start of everything. So I'm just connecting all the dot here. So you can see that this is a block. This is the most simple definition in BotStar. So this is how you present, each of the messages in BotStar. And also you can see the line here. This is the connection. Within the connection, you can see that you can have the condition. So I'm not going to detail so much. I'll leave some of the detail out so you guys can figure out or ask me later. So from now, we already have a conversation for this bot, and we can go ahead and hit preview, and we can test it out. So you can see that the editor also moving around as well, showing which block is being hit. The next part, I'm going to, trying to add an image onto this. You can upload an image or video from your computer, and there you go. You can also quickly add things like, quick reply or, load data from elsewhere. Let me try to add a quick reply onto this. Static. So here I have just added two quick reply. So this is a quick way for the users to, to hit the button without having to type anything. So let me try to put in contact us, and also I'll put in shopping in this one. And you can see these little button here. These are called outlet. Outlet is like a connecting, is like a gateway to connect a block to the outside world. It's being used a lot in BotStar to represent how the flow is being navigating around, how the message is traveling. So for example, I'll drag from shopping out, and then I'll try to create a module. So what is a module? Module is like a group of blocks. You can always group blocks that have the same do the same things. Like for example, you can group a blocks that represent information about ticket, or you can also have a module about shopping, the whole catalog browsing or stuff like that. So in this one, I'll have the module. I can rename this module to let's say shopping. So I'll go into this module. You can see that each module have a module entry and a module outlet. You can have multiple module outlet. In another word, they are called multiple exits for the module. So in this case, I'll quickly just make up one let's say, welcome to our catalog. All right, so at this point, I want to introduce you guys to a definition in BotStar, which is called CMS, which we use quite a lot. And then I'll come back to the editor right away. So I'll try to create an entity inside the CMS called product. And then I'll set up how the product look like. So I'll we have the name, we have the status already. So I'll just put in probably picture of the product. And then I'll select the type, which is photo. I'll add another field, probably price. And then is probably text, right? So at this point, I have finished defining a type for the, for an entity for the CMS. I'll load up some data, sample data, for example, cappuccino sample picture. I'll load up some picture, 1 second. And for price, I'll probably put in $4. I put in the $sign here, but for some of you who are, more like an expert in bot building, you can always just put number here, so you can always come back and do some, complex calculation later on. I'll just stick to simple bot for now. So right now we have a CMS with one item inside the product catalog. So I'll come back to the flow editor, and it, I'm being straight back to the shopping module. So what I do, I'll drag in like a list. So I'll drag in the list of inside here. So now we should be able to load the data from the product CMS onto this list, right? So I'll rename this to product list, and then I'll click this, use CMS data. Move this away. So you can select the product as an entity here, and you can always add some filter or condition later on. And then right now, this block is being mapped to the CMS part product. So we just have to click on each of the item. So for example, the picture should be mapping to, the product. So it's being loaded dynamically here. The title, probably the name of the product. So I'm using the name. So you can see here is displaying as cappuccino. For this, probably I'll put in price, and then I'll load the price in dynamically from the CMS. So you can see that we have this pop-up being used quite often in BotStar. So the variable that in green CMS variable, and the variable in red are either user attribute or user response, or the flow variables, which you can define later on in the flow. So we have 2 buttons here, so I'll probably just need 1. And then I'll call this one buy, for example. So I'll connect this block to this block here. And I'll also, we need to have a confirmation block, right? So I'll just put it this one here, and I'll probably put in thank you for ordering, and then just 1 second. I'll do something that very technical at this point. You can always figure that out later on. So I can put in let us respond here, and I'll finish the flow. So I'll exit out this module. So let's test this mini flow out. So you can always test a single block at any point in the flow. So in this case, it should be displaying welcome to our catalog. It should display the product list nicely. And if you hit buy, it should show you guys a confirmation image of saying thank you for ordering cappuccino. And you can see that all of these are dynamic, data without me putting them in manually. So if you want to exit a module from your editor, you can just click there. What you normally have to face a lot while building chatbot is the ability for the bot to be able to handle some of the question or answer outside the scope of your predefined flow, right? So what we at BotStar found that is quite practical is that we often have a things called fallback, and that fallback thing or that fallback block will handle pretty much everything. So what I will be showing you guys right now is how we can use fallback, or how we can use that, as a mechanism to escalate to an agent operator, a human operator, for example, right? So I'll remove this block for now. And from contact us, I'll drag it out to an action. Right, so here's a new term. So what's the difference between an action and a block? So in BotStar, a block is, something that can be rendered, something is visual, something that return in a message to the end user. But action is a silent block that, it does something in the background of the flow, but it doesn't, send anything to your chat user. So in this case, I want to, let the user to be able to escalate to a human. And I can also define the goodbye message if the human have finished, or for the bot to say goodbye to the user, bye bye, sorry to see you go, you can talk to my human friend now. You can also define some of the other things like, what's the name of the button to allow the user to return to the bot, back to bot. And you can also define a message for the bot to say hello to the user again once the human operator have decided to finish. So hello again. So just like that, you have finished a very simple block, chatbot for, a simple shopping cart experience. So in this scope of this, webinar, I'm not going to do the full-on thing. What I will do now is I'll walk you guys through some of the tabs inside this whole thing. The whole platform, and then after that I'll show you a full-blown demo chatbot which have been pre-built, and then I'll talk through why we decide to do that. So first, I have walked you through the flow editor, the CMS, and this one is the keyword. So what are keywords? Think about keywords like, once you have defined a flow in BotStar, it's like you have set up a skeleton or a framework for your bot. Keywords, or smart keywords, are like filling up the meat for your bot. It makes your bot to become a lot more flexible, or being able to handle all sort of complex query. So in this case, you can always set up a new keyword set, and you can probably call this small talk, for example. You can have as many keyword sets as you want, group them, however you want. And then you can sort of define how you can, you can define the rule for each of the, the set. So for example, if the message contain hello, for example, then the bot should say hello back. In this case, you can see that if I say hello, for example, then I can either choose a simple text message like hello back, or I can choose a predefined block. So this leads to another very powerful scenario where that in BotStar you can always use scripting, or HTTP network connection block for very dynamic situations. So this together with keyword, together with Facebook ad, together with broadcast, the same mechanism. You can select a block as a starting point of the conversation or a landing page. You can reuse the whole flow. So in this case, I'll probably choose shopping, for example. Let's see if the keywords are working. And at any point, I should be able to type hello and say hello back. So that's the keyword for you. BotStar does support smart keyword, but for smart keyword, you have to integrate with AI. I'm not going to do that now. It's very time consuming. It's not that time consuming. It's just that for the sake of saving time in this webinar, it's very straightforward. You can, it's like here you have to connect to with AI. It's very similar concept. So instead of having these very simple rule like hello or hello, you can set it like to match like a very generic sentence like today is so hot or something like that. And if the user type in it's hot, then the bot still be able to understand instead of it have to match the whole sentence today is so hot, which never happened. So that's the uses for smart keyword. So this is the keyword, right? So this is the tab connect where you connect your bot to the outside world. You can connect it to Facebook Messenger. You can see this is a list of possible pages I can assign this bot to from this account. You can also deploy your chatbot to website, unlimited website as many as you want. You can add as many as you want, as long as you remember to whitelist them. And you can choose different mode, which I'll show you later, very soon. You can also customize some of the usability, like show entry block first, prompt user automatically, or you can have the red circle dot notification. So this is the BotStar proprietary live chat system, and it runs in parallel with Facebook Messenger, with all end up in our OmniChat inbox. You can also connect BotStar to Dialogflow, Zapier, Interchromat right now. Zapier and Interchromat will open up BotStar, the possibility to connect to around 1,000 apps. You will find is, it's very often that you need to connect your chatbot to CRM and, email service. And most of them are available on Zapier and Interchromat. Interchromat is a lot cheaper than Zapier, by the way. And you can see here that we are having Dialogflow and with AI as native integration. In the future, we are releasing Google Sheet integration. Is planned to be released in early March, as I have communicated on the deal page. Also, we have received quite a lot of feedback and requests for some of the beloved CRM system out there, like ActiveCampaign or Mail or SendFox or something like that. We'll be considering those to add them here on the list as well. Right, and some of you have very strong background in messenger marketing. So we do have Grow to connect to Messenger, like bot landing URL, landing page, and comment trigger. I'm not going to dive into them. They just work out the box, and if you are used to them on platform like ManyChat or Chatfield, you should be able to use them very comfortably. The next part is the automate. So in automate, you have either campaign, you can set up, like a onboarding campaign, or you can have checkpoints. So this is the most crucial sort of taxonomy in BotStar. So what is checkpoint? Checkpoint is a way of BotStar to call things like bookings, appointments, orders, anything that you can group information that collect from users into one thing and just ship it either to your CRM or just to keep it in BotStar if you decide to use BotStar as the whole package for your little business. So checkpoint is what I'll show you in some of the working bot later on, so you can have a sort of understanding how the visual look. You also have the inbox, and you can send broadcast to many people at once. Right now, BotStar only support broadcasting to Messenger. Some of you asked or actually requested for broadcasting to through emails for live chat website user. For us, we decided not to do that. Reason is because there's a lot of email SaaS system that do that things a lot better than us. And we decide that in the near future, what we will do, we will support SMTP integration so that you can use your own SMTP service to do broadcasting and for your live chat user. They can still receive the live chat information through the web widgets, but for emails, it should go through an email service. That's just the philosophy of BotStar. So you can manage audience and stuff like that. Enough, a lot of blank screen here. I'll jump on to another bot right now. So this is a mini course clone, which I have cloned directly from the mini course tutorial. For any of you who are new to BotStar, I highly recommend you to jump onto this mini course on our documentation website. It is a course of 8 lessons, and it helps you to plan a bot in the beginning, build a simple flow, optimize your flow, adding keyword, adding more CMS, start collecting order, how to use variable, how to use checkpoint, how to update user attribute and tag, and adding more keyword, more NLP later on, more fallback, integrating, how to promote your bot through Facebook ads or GrowTo, and finally tracking order status and stuff like that. We hope to expand this chatbot mini course to about, I think 12 sessions later on with video. But it's very important that you go through either this chatbot ultimate course or this chatbot for dummy course to break into BotStar easily. Sorry, this is hard. Okay. So you can see this is the dashboard of a working bot. So I see, see this message to conversation to checkpoint right now. And this is the flow, basic flow of the bot. So basically, this bot is a multilingual bot. It supports both English and Vietnamese right now. It has a switch language, review block, which you can find down here. The language switching block here, right here. It go to the bot menu, or it have a welcome text. It have a welcome gift. I can always zoom out to have a better overview of the flow, how the flow traveling. This is the main menu block, and you can see that this bot support escalating to staff, and you can see that the flow is not messy at all because the template has been grouped of, the block has been grouped together in module, like location module shopping, and finally end up with generating order once they finish the module shopping and go to thank you and maybe start tracking the order. So let's play out with this bot very quickly. So let's try to deploy it onto Facebook, right? I'll hit this button to deploy. It say I need to connect to Facebook, right? I'll click on that, and I'll just have to select a page. It say assign. By the way, we are releasing the feature for you to import your existing user from your page to BotStar. It's planned for release early March as well. And I'll hit publish. Cool, so it should be live. I can click here to open the chat, and I'll try to communicate with the bot and finish an order. Excuse me, inside my menu. Okay, the internet is quite slow right now. I think I have talked to this bot before, so I'll just scroll up so you can see that, this is how we collect order in a bot. we select, the item here, which is a floral skirt, and the bot can ask for information, size, how many item, delivery method, let us know the delivery address. We also have a custom built-in, web calendar, web view for selecting the day as well. In the near future, we want to, this is just one-way calendar. In the near future, we want to improve this to two-way calendar by providing integration to to Google Calendar and Calendly as well. In the end, it shows the confirmation of the order. And it seems like we are running out of time. I'll try to connect, show you guys how to connect this to Zapier, right? So on Zapier, first you need to go to the bot and go to integration and turn on Zapier right here from integration. And then you go back to Zapier and you can choose make a new Zap. From there, you can select BotStar, and then you can choose the trigger event, probably new checkpoint record, hit continue. And for the other second part, you can select a CRM. In this case, we chose to use MailChimp, and it end up here. So every time the user finishes the order, excuse me, how do I stop this thing? So in the end, it will end up here as the record. So that's the, how you collect the information from BotStar and passing on to the CRM being used by your business or your client business. I also want to showcase a very important point of BotStar, which is our proprietary live chat widgets, which end up in the inbox, the Omni inbox, which is this one. So you can see here it support both, people from the website or messenger, and you can always, take over as a human and start, talking with them straight away. Let me see what I was supposed to do. Oh, okay. I was supposed to show you how to publish this to website. So I am in mini course bot and I need to hit connect. I should go to website, and here you can either choose to use Facebook Messenger chat plugin, or you can choose to go with BotStar chat plugin, which is developed by ourselves and has way more customization, not just from look and feel, but also from different mode, more control over the behavior as well. So in this case, I'll choose for live chats, the traditional live chats. I'll try to publish onto google.com. I do not own google.com, but this is just a way for me to do this very quickly. So I'll just copy this part. Normally you have to copy the whole thing, right? The whole thing, and just paste it, just follow the instruction here and paste it under the body tag for your HTML page. That should be fine. And then I'll go to google.com right now. What I do, this is just a quick way to test our widgets, right? I'll just run this piece of code. Voila, you can see that, oh my God, sorry, excuse me, this thing just keep popping up. You can see that BotStar being, appearing on google.com. So this is how we in BotStar team, we also usually test out the web widgets as well. Yep, this is how, the same, mini course bot is looking right now in the boss on the website. You can also have the bot as full page. It's good for some case like when you want to send out a survey and you want the first thing they see is a full-on chatbot full page website, and then you can have a menu or some button within the flow later on to redirect them to somewhere else. You can also have them inline. So what I mean by inline is you can embed the bot right in the middle of the piece of the content. To be honest with you guys, I do not find this very useful for my case, but some of the client requested us for this, so we have developed this mode. But we find that pop-up and full page and live charts are very useful and can be interchangeably used between different cases. You can add more website, and you can modify the theme color and custom name and the picture, which is this one, this little thing here, right here. So what about the time? Okay, I'll try to go very quickly through. I feel like I need to talk more about connection. So connector. So you can see that within the connector, it has a source block and a target block, and you can modify the condition of these block, of these connectors. So it can be so that you can make very complex, chat flow. For example, in this module shopping, I was talking about module outlet, right? So when you are inside a module, you can have as many exits as you want. For example, right, when users are doing shopping, they want to, instead of shopping, they want to see where this item is available, which shop. But that is being developed in another module called location, right? So you want, instead of going straight forward to checkout page so that you can exit the flow so that you can go back to the location, you can use this sort of concept to exit the flow right away and go to the location module. So this is a very lovely concept that has been built and developed by BotStar team. So you can see the flow that we have developed for the mini course. All of these things that I have shown you in the bot just now end up being collected after this confirmation block, being saved to the checkpoint, where you can see that we are mapping the customer name to all of these predefined checkpoint here, fashion order checkpoint. So for the data, you can see that it's very useful for your agency to have this bot attribute, because you can replicate this same bot for many of your clients, and the only thing you need to do is to modify this bot attribute to be something else rather than Monaco fashion store here. It can be your next door fashion store, and you do not have to touch these things, flow variables, things like that, until you have a very complex flow of calculating order or something like that. In this case, we capture these flow variables so that we can do the body index number. And user response is also a concept in BotStar. So once a block that expect a user response, it will stop. It will stop until you hit a button or until you feed that block with a typing response, and that will go back and up here as one of these response. You can collect the response. Response cannot be modified, but flow variable can be modified. Some of you find this cumbersome and too much work, but we feel like it's very clear way to do this. But trust me, in the near future, we want to improve our editor more by adding more shortcuts, so you don't have to go through the whole life cycle of response to flow variable to checkpoint, things like that. Also, user attribute, you can see here is how we update the audience. let me open up a more busy bot. For example, the official BotStar chatbot, for example, we have a bit more audience here. So this is how the audience tab look like in a busy bot. You can see a bunch of people. I'll scroll quickly so the name doesn't pop up. I'm sorry. Pardon me if you know, any of you guys show information being shown up here. So you can see you can start the conversation or unsubscribe or delete. You can add them to a campaign, or you can add tag for them. So later on you can retarget them with broadcasting. If you hit conversation, it will go directly to all of the information. So that's for the audience. For the campaign, I want to show you this. We haven't got the campaign for this, but I think on this one we have. So this is how we define campaign. So for example, in a winter promotion campaign, you can define that, oh, after 12 hours, you can, you know, send a message to user. After 2 days, you can send the special deal block them. After 3 days. In the future, in near future, we'll add more complex rules behind this trigger point. So you can add things like alarm clock or, you know, repeatable event. Checkpoint. This is how you see the checkpoint being collected in BotStar. All of the information stay within BotStar until you decide to push them out to your own favorite CRM system. I think that should be enough. I think that should be time for question Q&A section.
Awesome. And before we do that, would you mind navigating over to the AppSumo deal page and showing what's included with one license versus multiple licenses?
I'll scroll down to the deal part, right? Yep. Oh, so you want me to go through the difference between these plans?
Yeah, so mostly just what's included in the single plan. So what are you actually getting if you get this single license, and then obviously we can see how it scales up from there, from 50,000 to 100,000 and beyond.
Okay, I can see here that it mentioned seed, which is something that I haven't shown you guys yet. So I'll quickly show you guys what seed is all about. So for example, I'm in the official BotStar chatbot, for example, right? I can go to connect to more people. Is it connect? Yes, connect. Sorry, sometimes I get lost in my own software. I think it's engage. No, configuration. Yep, configuration. You can add more people, collaborator to this, you know, chatbot. And in this case, I can select some of my own team member here and add them in, and you can control them at very, you know, fine level of, you know, which tab, which screen you want that member to be able to access. So this same concept can be applied, you know, can be applicable for your client as well. Sometimes you do not want them to really know how simple, how quick it took you a little time it took you to build the bot, right? You want to hide that from them. You just want them to be able to access the inbox or, you know, some other reporting tab, right? So this is how you do it. Add collaborator, and that member will be able to collaborate on the bot. To be honest with you guys, this whole collaborator things will be merged with the idea of the team member. So it will not stay as two separate terms like right now. They actually just the same thing. So in the team, you have the seat. You can see that we can have member here. Some of you, especially white label agency, ask me about when we have sub accounts, things like that. I cannot promise you exactly when because there are tons of things to do right now.
Vin, I think something happened to your microphone.
Can you guys hear me now? Sorry.
Yes, got you.
Okay, so this feature will be implemented in the near future to be able to allow you to have more sub-team, so that you can organize your clients better. In early March, we are releasing the monthly session limit per bot, so that hopefully will help you to control your bot better, your spend, your quota better. So this is the whole concept about the team, about collaborators. So I'll go back to the deal. With the first code, you get 3 members and 50,000 session monthly. I think for me, 50,000 session, if you know, if you use it conservatively for 1 or 2 bot, that's more than enough. But sometimes if you are an agency, or if you are a bot with a lot of subscribers that you want to send out a ton of messages, then maybe it's not enough. What is session? I'll go back to the definition. So a session is a conversation, and we don't care how many messages in that conversation, as long as there's no gap of 24 hours between messages. Anytime a message is sent after 24 hours, that's counted as a new session. So Sid, I've just explained to you, most of the business, 3 Sids are quite enough for them. They just have 1 or 2, social networking guy to take care of the inbox. But sometimes you want to integrate your bot into, like in BotStar, for example, the whole team, 5, 10 people actually have to walk through, using the bot to look after customers. So sometimes it's not enough. Then that's when you need to look at the double. For 3 codes, what you will unlock the white label feature, which is, not sure if I have a white label one here, but I'll show you guys that, you can change the logo here. You can change the primary color, all of these purple color. If you do not like it, all of these purple will be your own color. It will not show anything like, plan or things like that. You have your own subdomain, not subdomain, I mean, you start out with a subdomain, but you can always ask us to configure, your own domain. For things like sending out emails from within the system, for example, BotStar does have some internal email, transactional email. For example, when a checkpoint finish, a bot operator will be able to receive an email from the bot, right? Instead of coming from address botstar.com, it will come from your own email address. And your client will not be able to see which bot it belongs to. So that's the white label feature. A lot of you complain. I understand that white label is not finished, but to be honest with you guys, we really focus initially on bot building agency. We do not focus so much on reselling capacity. So that's why you see us actually lacking some of the feature, but it's a good thing we launched this time, so we can take the feedback from the community, so we can improve this on this aspect further. But most of the things are, I think all of them are fully white label. You cannot even find any word mentioning BotStar anywhere, even in the script, even in the documentation. So 0 exposed to BotStar branding. And with 5 code, I think, yes, 5 code, you will unlock unlimited seat. So you can add unlimited members of your team, unlimited member of the client. So this 5 code is very useful for someone who own a lot of, have a very small customer, a customer base with a lot of them, but small. Let's say each of them incur like 1,000, 2,000 traffic per month, then this is fantastic for you guys to run a business. You can run for like several years without worrying about using up or paying BotStar anything at all. And with up to 10 codes, it will be 3 million sessions monthly, and it's actually a big jump because with 7 code, it's still just 1 million, but with 9 code, it's 2 million, but with 10 codes, it's 3 millions. And yeah, this pricing is actually, to be honest with you guys, quite generous from BotStar, because we conduct this based on the study of our customer base, and I hope that is enough for you guys to use. And I think that's about it. Most of the questions that you post on the deal page, I try my best to answer them all, and also my apologies for getting back late to some of you up there. If I'm missing any question as well, I'll try to do another round of scanning today and try to get back to all of you. Yep.
Awesome. All right, let's dive into a couple of the questions. Okay, one of them is, can I initiate a bot stream from another BotStar bot?
What's the bot stream? Okay, I'll try my best to answer that. BotStar doesn't have the concept of a bot initiate another bot. Right now, we do not support that. Like in ManyChat, they have the concept like a flow can initiate another flow, or in LandBot, they have a bot flow initiate another flow. But in BotStar, we have module. So module is just like another way of grouping things together, and it's very nice. You can have a master bot that it's just a meta thing. You can have a totally different personality in different module. So it's similar. You can have different kind of bot. It's just a naming things.
Awesome.
I'm not sure if I understand that right. Yeah.
So this person is asking, where do you recommend loading the embed code on a WordPress site?
For BotStar, we do have a WordPress page, and we are loading it on. I think we create a HTML section. It's in the body, so it should be loading. Sorry, I'm a CEO. I'm not so technical, but I'll try my best. It should be after the page have been, have loaded most of the elements, so that it doesn't hinder the loading. And also the bot is loaded just the tiny piece of the initiation code, and then the whole thing you see, the frame, the chart, the bubble, they are loaded even further back after the launcher have been finished loading.
Awesome. All right. Let's see, what else do you guys, does it integrate with existing CMS e-commerce solutions like Shopify?
Right now, we do not provide direct native integration with Shopify. If you look at the BotStar on the deal page, it has a link to the a link to the public roadmap. I think we already add Shopify up there. So yeah, short answer, we haven't provided it yet. My CTO is really pushing forward for integrating with Shopify. But first, we really need to consolidate some of the concept, the concept in BotStar before we step it out furthermore. It's like building the foundation even stronger, so that it doesn't, the whole platform doesn't crumble. Mm-hmm. To be honest with you guys, a lot of bot platform out there started to crumble because of the pressure. It's just going in so many directions. We do not want to repeat the same mistake. And if you purchase BotStar, you do not want that to happen, right? So let's see. But you can see here, Shopify, hot on the list, and we do take that very seriously.
Awesome. And is that the same with HubSpot? That's another question we had come through.
HubSpot is a very famous CRM, and it's being supported through Zapier Integral Map right now. In the near future, we are releasing webhooks. So it's another way of integration, low-cost integration, no code at all. So I think you can also use that to integrate with, like I said, most of the CRM system is very easy to integrate with BotStar.
Awesome. All right. What is the difference between custom bot branding and white labeling?
Custom bot branding. Oh, sorry. Custom bot branding is the power by BotStar should be disappear from the bot on your client website, and the whiteable bot, the whiteable platform. So you have your own platform, your BotStar platform in your brand.
Got it. Awesome. Cool. Before we move on to the next question, I know I teased a bunch of you guys with a potential discount that we could have coming your way. So I know a lot of you guys were on the fence about BotStar, wanted to join this webinar to see if that would kind of tip you over the edge. So to give you guys a little bit of an incentive, we don't do these all the time, but I figured I would for this one because we got a lot of folks on here. I'm going to post in the chat right now a link. If you click that, it will automatically apply a 10% discount to your BotStar purchase. It is only good until midnight tonight Central Time. So check that out. I hope that's a nice little incentive for you guys. It'll basically give you $5 off a code for BotStar, and you can use that on as many codes as you would like for BotStar. So check that out. I hope that helps. All right, back to the Q&A. Cool. So let's see. Can we integrate with Google Calendar in Outlook for appointments?
Yeah, so if you guys are on our community, I highly recommend you guys to join our community. So which is here, Facebook groups, BotStar community. Sorry, it should be somewhere here. I hope to find it. A lot of people just talk about the request for the two-way integration, calendar integration. So right now, BotStar is only one-way calendar pushing out, right, from BotStar, pushing out the booking appointment date to your own calendar. So we are looking forward to integrate with Google Calendar and Calendly for that to happen.
All right. Let's see. So somebody wants to know, so one question that you mentioned in the Q&A is that exceeding 10 codes in the future after the AppSumo deal ends. So just to confirm, we need to pay $50 a month for 1 million plus sessions.
Sorry, what was that again? What's the number again?
So they said just to confirm that we need to pay $50 a month for 1 million or more sessions.
Oh, so you're probably asking about purchasing in block, right? Probably like
Yep.
pre-purchase, prepaid
Yes.
block. Right now, we do not have that model yet, but we have a very simple calculation that it's actually public. It's not public on the website just because we are lazy to put it on, but if you go to the BotStar app, you can hit the calculator. You can see that it is the lowest one right now is 0.7 cent. And I'll be frank with you guys can always negotiate with our sales team if you think that figure is not sustainable for you guys in the long term. That price is negotiable, and it's case by case, depend on the users. Yep, but in the future, I'm not so sure about the purchasing in block, and it won't be that cheap on AppSumo.
All right. I see two questions in here as well that I can address. When will the webinar replay be sent out? Because there's a longer webinar, it might not finish downloading for a couple hours, so it'll probably be sent out tomorrow morning, but it should be in your inbox in the next, 12 to 20 hours sent out, if not a lot sooner. And the other one I saw in here is, here we go. How about integrations with a payment system?
It's being worked on right now. It's hot on the list. It's planned for releasing in March.
Awesome. Okay. And do we get full or limited access to your API? And if it's limited, in what way is it limited?
You get full access to API access point, but it will be rate limit. right now our API is very simple. It has the broadcast and send to send out messages. But in the near future, you will be able to crawl to get access to all of your information like checkpoint, users, audience, stuff like that. It will be ready.
Okay. Well, we are out of time for this webinar, but before we sign off, do you have what are you most excited about that you guys are working on the roadmap that's coming up?
Yeah. So we want to keep our promise. So we want to turn around really quickly, so that we can have a monthly session limit per bot for you guys. So we can have what else? My mind, sorry. So we can have some other cool feature like I've just said to you about the calendar, as well as the, what is it? Sorry, I need to look at the roadmap. My mind is blowing right now. It's not working. It's 6 a.m. now. This quarter, okay, sorry, here. So we'll be focusing on releasing the importing audience from other existing Facebook page to your bot. That will be released in days. We are testing it. Also, you will be able to use your own custom web view. So you can have a mini page, web page, like a mini game or something like that with a protocol. That will be released, I think, around March time. So probably mid or end of March. Stripe integration to process payment. So that's hot on the list. That is actually top priority of the team right now. And tons of other bug fix. I will be sending out a new update on the due page to let you guys know when and what will be happening.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining and doing this walkthrough. Thank you for staying up all night for this campaign. I know everyone's super excited about it. It's kicking ass on AppSumo. Yeah, all Sumo links on here. Again, I will post that account link in here right now for you. Again, it's 10% off BotStar until midnight tonight Central Time. So I hope that's a little incentive for you guys. Thank you all. We had a huge turnout. Thank you guys for joining us, hopping on and sticking with us for an hour. Thank you for joining us as well for this walkthrough and for bringing this killer deal to the AppSumo community. And yeah, we'll be talking to all of you again soon. And have a great day. Have a great morning for you. Hopefully you can get some sleep.
Thank you, guys. Let's grow together. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.